In this video, we're going to be covering the date restrictions available for quizzes. From the course homepage, we're going to click on Assessments and choose Quizzes from the drop-down menu. And then we're just going to click on the quiz that we want to edit. For here, we're just going to choose quiz number 4. This is going to open the Edit Quiz page. And now we'll go into the Restrictions tab. And you'll see that we've got restriction options as we scroll down. So up at the very top, we can either choose to hide the quiz from users, or we can choose to deselect that and make it visible. We can also choose to either add a due date or availability dates to the quiz. As a reminder, the due date is a soft deadline, so students will still be able to submit the quizzes after this time has passed. However, they will be flagged as late. The start and specifically the end date is a hard deadline. So students will have no access to the quiz before the start date. And after the end date is passed, they will not be able to get in to submit another attempt. Now, if somebody is already in the quiz at the time that this end date occurs, they will still be able to finish their attempt, but nobody new will be able to go in and start an attempt. If these options are selected, you will also be given the choice to display this item in the course calendar. As you scroll down, you can also attach release conditions. For now, we're going to leave the release conditions blank and scroll down to the other options. There are a few optional advanced restrictions that are rarely used, including creating a password. In this particular instance, the student would have to have the password in order to be able to access an attempt, and you can choose to set IP restrictions if you'd like. Because of the vast number of ways that students complete quizzes nowadays, we don't really recommend using the IP restrictions. If you scroll down further, you can also see that we've got timing restrictions as well. So you can either choose to have absolutely no time limit, which you can see reduces the options under timing. You can choose to have a recommended time limit, in which case you can say that it is recommended people will be taking about 60 minutes on this particular quiz. You can also choose whether or not to actually show the time clock. A lot of the times when it's a recommended time limit, people won't bother to show the clock. They'll normally recommend something that will give everybody plenty of time to complete the quiz. However, in enforced time limit, we get into slightly more complicated options. So for an enforced time limit, you will have your standard time limit, but then you must have at least 1 minute of grace period. Here I've put in 5. And then you have to choose a behavior to take place after the time limit and grace period have ended. The options are either allowing the student to continue working. If you choose this, students will be able to submit the quiz with no penalization after the grace period is ended. You can prevent the student from making further changes. So after that 65 minutes, which includes the grace period, the student would no longer be able to answer questions or change any written entry. Third option is to allow the student to continue working, but give them a 0 if they exceed the extended time limit. When you click on this option, you can see that there is an extended deadline where you add in at least 1 extra minute of grace period. But if at the end of that time they still have not clicked submit on their quiz, they will be receiving a 0. At the bottom of the Restrictions tab, you will also find all of your special access options. If you need to grant a student special access, please see our video on special access and quizzes. When you're done editing your quiz restrictions, simply click Save and Close, and everything will be updated. As you can see, we now have new availability start and end dates for this particular quiz. For more Brightspace resources, please visit the Studio website at studio.smu.ca or swing by the Software and Application Support Center at Atrium 107.